Welcome to the Discount Mugs team of employees. Today I'm going to show you exactly what we do here. I'm going to start with a little history on our company. For over a decade, Discount Mugs has worked hard to make us the largest supplier of promotional drinkware in the country. Our president and undefeated office ping pong champion, Amin, who you will see walking around the office often, has built a promotional powerhouse like no other. Our new custom-built facility houses over 400 employees, each very knowledgeable and dedicated. We have high-tech machinery that no other company in the country can offer, and unique printing methods that keep our company ahead of competition. Here at Discount Mugs, we offer almost every promotional product you can think of. Glassware, ceramic mugs, pens, apparel, portfolios, travel mugs, sports bottles, totes, keychains, you name it, we've got it. All at the lowest prices guaranteed. Today you will learn about our printing methods step by step, so take notes, you have a lot to learn. Of course, every order starts with our sales team. Our dedicated sales team works hard to close every deal and provide the best service possible to each and every customer. We don't want you to come to work every day just doing a sales job. We want you to strive to get those orders and make this company strong. Treat every customer with the utmost respect and kindness. After the customer order is placed with the sales team, it goes to our art department. The art department formats the artwork for each order in the best manner possible, checking the order colors, design, and text to ensure the best quality outcome for printing. Each piece of artwork must be handled with meticulous care because the whole printing process depends on it. Our expert graphic design team works diligently every day to get the orders ready for processing. Now on to the printing. Here at Discount Mugs, we offer a wide variety of products for customization, and a lot of different ways those products can be printed. The first print method we will look at is direct print UV and direct print fire, also known as screen printing. Once the order is placed and sent to our art department, the artists work to prepare the artwork and it is printed on film, which in the case of direct print is tracing paper. The film is printed on different printers depending on which print method they will be using. For direct print UV and direct print fire, the artists print using the Xerox Phaser 5550 printer. The film is used to expose the art onto the screen. To expose the film onto the screen, our team uses a combination of special chemicals and light to transfer the image. The design, now embedded on the silkscreen, is then slotted into the silkscreen machine. Screens come in all sizes to fit the products needed for printing. When on the machine, the ink is then poured on top of the screen, and then a squeegee, whether automatic or manually, presses the ink down through the screen and onto the product. When the job is printed straight on a product, the process is referred to as direct print. There are two direct print methods. One is called direct print with UV inks, another direct print fire. Direct print fire inks are products that require a layer to heat up the product, thus adhering the ink and product together. A layer is like an oven, but with rotating belts that are used for mass baking, also known as firing or fired goods. We usually only use this process for plastic sports bottles, as they need to be heated before the ink is applied. Now let's talk about direct print UV. Direct print UV uses a special ink that is lead-free and much quicker to process. Our UV machines will literally cure the ink in less than 30 seconds versus 2 hours in the layer. Matching product colors using UV inks is much easier, and we are able to achieve bright pinks and purples in closely matched colors. We recommend UV for most jobs, but for jobs that require matte gold and matte silver, then it is recommended to use direct print fire. Now let's move on to a similar printing method, silk screening for pens. The process is fascinating. A silk screen is created with the artwork using 4x4 film printed on the Konica 8100 EV Setter printer. Like direct print, it is placed on the screen printing machine, where an assembly line of pens has ink pressed from the screen onto each pen. The pen is screen printed around the pen with special jigs that hold each pen in place. There are some pens that cannot be loaded onto the machines due to inconsistencies or unique shapes that do not fit. Instead of pad printing that can only stamp on top of products, the silkscreen method can rotate around the product. The pens are loaded in bulk amount and do not require to be individually placed, thus giving us efficiency. This process is designed to streamline mass production. The amount of pens that can be produced using this method is amazing. The pad printing process begins just like every other order, where our art department prepares the artwork. However, there is no film needed for pad printing. The pad printing process starts with the artwork being etched into a plate by laser or exposed onto a emulsion cover plate. Once the design is ready on a production plate, the ink will flood into the design and a rubber stamp will pick up the image and stamp it directly onto a product. We are currently using this method for pens, calculators, keychains, portfolios, and in some cases we stamp sports bottles or travel mugs that cannot be produced via direct print. After the stamping process, the ink is cured onto the product using a heating oven at 300 to 400 degrees. If a customer is looking for a more professional, permanent customization, then take a look at our laser engraving. Like pad print, no film is required. We offer two types of laser engraving, YAG and CO2. In this segment, I will talk about YAG. YAG laser is used on keychains, pens, aluminum sports bottles, ceramics, and travel mugs. Basically anything that is non-transparent. The laser does two passes, one where the design is cut into the product, and a second pass that cleans up the rough edges. It depends on the product if the final output looks polished or matte. One example we may have is a pen with a gold polished undercoating, where the laser will take off the top layer, thus appearing the gold polished undercoat. The process using YAG will take 8 to 30 seconds depending on the image size. Your average job will take 10 seconds. The second laser method that is defined in our system is laser glass. We call it laser glass because we want to keep it simple for you, but the real definition for us is CO2. CO2 is designed to cut glass, wood, acrylic, and most products except metal. Our CO2 in-house machine has a rotation unit that allows us to rotate the product while engraving, giving us a bigger imprint as compared to our YAG system that prints without rotating. Our current CO2 system does take a little longer to print. Estimated time per job is 45 seconds. Now let's move on to our decal printing departments. The decal film is printed by our artist on the Konica 8100 EV setter printer. The majority of our decals are printed using ferro inks using CMYK. This process requires low firing and sometimes no firing at all. We currently use the CMYK option for all types of materials, with the exception of special cases like glass and ceramic when we need to match a PMS color. In these cases, we will mix the PMS ink with the ferro ink. However, most of the items are printed with CMYK. Our decals are created with our cylinder automatic press machine or the clamshell press by hand. When using the cylinder automatic press machine, we are able to print thousands of decals at a time, offering faster production time hardly any competitors can match. The decals are printed onto specially lined paper, using a set of silk screens that have the image separated by color. The ink is poured onto the silk screen one color at a time, and then squeegeed onto a set of decals. Using a vacuum line to pick up each decal sheet, the machine moves quickly, printing each detail in seconds. The paper then slides into drying racks with fans, which circle back to the machine for the next color to be printed. When all of the colors are complete, a cover coat film that keeps the decals together during application is put onto the decal paper. Then the decals are ready to be applied. The process is very similar to the clamshell press, which is hand-fed each decal paper at one at a time. Because it is hand-fed, and depending on the difficulty of the logo, they are able to produce about 150 to 300 decals per hour. The hard part about the clamshell press is that everything is adjusted by hand. It takes the utmost skill to make sure everything turns out perfect for application. The next process for all of the decals is application by hand. Our skilled employees use water to separate the backing of the decal paper. They place and center the decal onto the product, then squeegee out any air bubbles. As stated before, most of the items are low-fire decals. Glass and ceramic decals are cured in a layer if needed. Apparel is one of our biggest selling items here, so let's go over some of the printing processes used. When it comes to embroidery, we have high-tech machinery that has allowed us to customize mass orders with great precision. Depending on the print method, the artist uses a different film or file for the products. Embroidery uses digitized files. Manual and automatic press for apparel uses the Xerox Phaser 5550 8.5 by 11 sheets and the Epson Pro 4880 11 by 17 sheets, and the transfers are ordered. The embroidery machines we have here Use 18 hedge, which caps are loaded onto using metal hat clamps. The artwork for embroidery machine is digitized in the computer to prepare it correctly, that is sent to the embroidery machine to read. Although the machine has 12 colors to be embroidered, Discount Mugs currently offers their customers 8 colors for their designs. Embroidery is when a needle is used to stitch closely knit thread together, creating a beautiful outcome for your artwork. The design is actually stitched into the fabric using about 10,000 stitches of thread, which, unlike patches or presses, stays completely intact over years of use. Another option for printing apparel is with our Brother full-color printer. This method of printing can be used for t-shirts and tote bags, except for non-woven totes. Using the Brother printer, the t-shirt or tote bag is loaded onto the printing slab, then is printed on directly from the printer, as a regular printer works. After each color of the ink is applied by the printer, then the ink needs to be cured. Not all the tote bags we offer can be used with the Brother full-color printer due to issues with some materials. The same heat presses used to cure the ink on the shirts are also used for heat transfers. The design is printed backwards on special transfer paper, then put in the heat press at around 300 degrees for 6 to 7 seconds to apply it to the product. The heat transfer separates the artwork and adheres it to the t-shirt or tote with ease. Next in printing apparel is our press machines. These work as both manual and automatic. The automatic press machine uses power and air compression to run. After the artwork is placed onto film by our art department, a silk screen, similar to those described before, is created with the design, one color per screen. The bottom slabs then rotate around. As the slabs rotate, the silk screen comes down and the ink is squeegeed through the screen onto the product one color at a time. When all of the colors have been applied with the rotating motion, the shirts and tote bags are then cured at around 400 degrees to dry and set the ink onto the product. For non-woven tote bags, a special low-fire ink is used, and they are fired at a lower temperature than other products. The manual press is not much different than the automatic, except that it is done by hand, rather than powered by electricity and compression. The manual press offers great registration, as our highly trained employees work hard to line up each color and decal precisely. A silk screen is loaded on top of the manual press, just like the automatic one, and the products are loaded onto the bottom slabs as well. Then, our printing professional pushes the screen onto the products and squeegees the ink through the screen onto the item color by color. The last machine we have that used the silk screen method are the semi-automatic ones used to print one color designs. Tote bags are loaded onto the machine, ink is squeegeed onto the bag, and they are cured just as the other bags are. Because they are loaded manually as well, about 200 pieces per hour can be printed. Next is a very interesting process for printing, sublimation. Sublimation is the process of transferring ink to a product without a liquid state. Sublimation film must be printed on special machines. Sublimation mousepads, sublimation mugs, sublimation ceramic tiles, and sublimation koozies are printed on the Epson 4800, 4880, 7800, and 9880. If printing commemorative plates, photo keychains, or paper insert mugs, you use the Xerox Workcenter 728. Here's how it works. After receiving the artwork from the art department, the design is printed on special dye-sub paper using special sublimation ink. Next, it needs to be applied to the product. Sublimation is used for printing on ceramic mugs that are specially coated for the process, as well as mousepads which have a special top coat fabric as well. The printed designs are then cut out for the individual application and taped with heat tape onto the mug. The mug or mousepad is then placed into a heat press, which uses pressure and heat at high temperatures to turn the ink from a solid state to gas, which is baked with the heat into the product. On ceramic mugs, you can see the flawless pictures come out lifelike with unmatched design accuracy. The mousepads are offered as full bleed, where your design is printed all the way to the edges of the paper. Last but not least is debossing, which is used for portfolios and leather mousepads. Zinc plates are created with the design, which are then loaded into the press machine. The product must be loaded as a flat surface. Then the machine uses a heat at around 200 degrees and extreme pressure to stamp the zinc plate into the leather, creating a professional, sleek, customized look. So those are all of the different printing methods we have here at Discount Mugs. If you have any questions about the printing processes, please ask your supervisor. An accurate knowledge of how the products are printed is the foundation for good sales, customer service, and artwork. Every employee at Discount Mugs does their own part in making this company run smooth and strong every day. Only the best qualified candidates are hired to ensure the best quality products and service for each customer. We hope you enjoy being part of the Discount Mugs family.